The black jerseys look pretty cool. I thought they popped under the light. Yeah.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
This episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by PrizePicks. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege and use code LOCKEDONCollege for a first deposit match up to $100. Spartan friends, Spartan family, and let's be honest, a lot of Wolverine fans here because come and get your slop. Of course you guys are watching this show. I mean, this is probably going to be more entertaining than anything that happens Saturday night at the game. I'm sorry we couldn't even give you guys at least 5 seconds of drama for the first time this season. Hey, I'm your host, Matt Sheehan, host of Locked On Spartans, your team in green and white 5 days a week here. This is 5 days a week. What on earth are we going to talk about the next 5 weeks here during this football season? Hey, I got an idea. That sport with the orange round ball. Anyway, hey, please rate, review, and subscribe to this here podcast or YouTube channel. I genuinely want to thank you for watching, especially if you're a Michigan State fan. I mean, Michigan fans, I get. Like, this is part of the fun of absolutely clubbing your rival over the head is watching or listening to a show like this, but Lord, if you are a State fan still seeking Michigan State content, God bless your soul. And off we go into the show here. Look, I'm going to address the Michigan fans right at the top here. And I know what most of you are here for. You're here to see me broken down, emotional, shouting, just really fired up over this historic rivalry loss. I mean, it was 49-0. I think it's a top 5 butt whooping of all time in this rivalry. We even gave the folks at Spartan Stadium some Hitler trivia to pour over before the game. It was a circus even before the game began. So of course I should be on here screaming, throwing things, ramming my head through the door that's to my left right now. But I'm sorry, I can't even give you guys that. I was even going to, this is one thing that's going to change here. I was going to, do the jokes of congratulations on another win to your totally legitimate national title. But I mean, I'm not going to do those jokes today. Or I was going to say, hey, congrats on being over 500 against the Michigan State head coach for the first time since 2007. I was going to do that joke, but once it got above 40 points, it's like, okay, we're going to taper off a few of the bits that we plan on doing here. But look, you guys have given me plenty of reason to laugh the last few days. Your responses to the whole cheating allegations thing have been funny, but one of the funniest comments that I keep getting on Twitter is like, hey, can't wait for your show and to see you cry and lose your mind. Like, I'm not doing a bit. My soul and body is still on the 50-yard line of SHI Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. Rutgers snatched every single ounce of what was left in me as it pertains to being emotionally invested into this season. So I'm sorry, you guys have gotten a lot of wins this year, a lot more to come. Rutgers got you there. They absolutely killed me. I was just watching this game as if it was the 5th rerun in a row of watching Radio. That great movie that makes you cry your eyes out whenever you watch it. Like the first time, really sad, really upsetting. The second time, still hits you in the feels. The third time, it's like, okay, well, it's still kind of. By the time you're watching like the rerun for a 5th time, like we are Michigan State football, whatever. Like we all know what's going to happen. So, yeah. So that's it for the Michigan fans. If you're looking for me to lose my mind, not this show. So just do what you guys do. Give the thumbs down right here, and then good luck on your next video that you try. But if you do want to stick around, we are going to switch it to the Michigan State side of things here. And maybe another reason that I'm not all too fired up is because this is wholly what we expected in this game. After Michigan jumped to a 21-0 lead before my chair could even get warm, my lovely wife, as we're celebrating our kid's 3rd birthday party, looks at me, says, hey, how's it going? Is this going the way you thought it was going to go? And I said, yeah. No, this is how I thought it was going to go. And she said, oh, well, okay, well, it could be worse, right? And I said, no, absolutely not, because the worst is what I expected in this game here. Look, you've heard the shows throughout the last week. What happened last Saturday against Rutgers? They got every call. They got almost every bounce their way. They had an 18-point lead into the 4th quarter against Rutgers. and they still couldn't even win that game. So what did you think was going to happen when the number 2 team in the country that absolutely hates your guts rolled into town? We also talked before the game, too, that we are going to see one of 2 Michigan State teams. We are going to see an Iron Forge team. All right, our rivals come into town. We have one last shot of smiling this season. Let's give it our best shot here. Or option number 2, well, our balloon really got deflated last week. It has been a roller coaster of a season, and I guess it's not even roller coasters because roller coasters eventually do go up. I guess it's more of the demon drop for all you old Cedar Point heads out there. It's just been going down, down, down. So do you walk into this game dejected, kind of just sorry for yourself almost? Well, unfortunately, we got option B there, so that is what unfolded at Spartan Stadium. So no, like what else is going to happen tonight, guys? It is just what it is. Look, we're going to do some story time with Matt here because we got to mix it up. We've been doing a lot of these sad post-game shows, just screaming, moaning about the team, but let's all sit down and gather around the campfire here for a story that I will, circle back to and relate to Michigan State football. My whole life, ever since I've been born, I've been going to this lovely place on the west side of the great state of Michigan called Sandy Pines. I don't expect you to know what that is. It's very small, but it is a recreational vacation resort, if you will. People live in these souped-up RVs. It's one of those places where you drive around in a golf cart to get to the next place. There's mini golf, a beach, a pool. It's very wholesome. I've been going there my whole life. Well, one year, me and my family of 5, we went there, and it's a very small bathroom there with a very, very small sewage tank. It fills up very quickly. It's a Sunday. Ain't no one doing pumpings on Sunday. So, my poor mother, she calls the ranger station and says, hey, we've got a situation here. We are to the brim right now, and we need the stench out of here immediately. Do you have any of your reciprocals or any of your scooters, if you will, that we could drain it ourselves and bring it to the dump station? They said, well, ma'am, yes, we do. There's one problem, though. We only have one, and it doesn't have a cap. So my mom, she's been doing this her whole life. It's not that I'm a terrible son. We could have that debate later, but she did drain the raw sewage into this scooter that, again, does not have a cap. So we're on the golf cart. I'm in the back. I'm holding onto this 3-foot rope with an uncapped scooter full of poop, and we're just trucking along 6 miles an hour, not even going the full speed in a golf cart. And, oh boy, it's a 2-mile drive to the dump station. And we are trucking along here, and oh my goodness, well, the road's starting to fill up because it's essentially a one-way road here to all the fun things at Sandy Pines. And, well, 2 golf carts behind us turns into 4. 4 turns into 6, and my goodness gracious, we get to the stop sign. There's 8 golf carts behind us just trucking along slowly behind this open container of raw sewage. And I look up, and the look on these people's faces burned into my memory. And then we just go truck along because, hey, we weren't even halfway done with our journey by the time we got to that stop sign. Gang, how I'm going to tie this to Michigan State is that, well, that golf cart is Harlan Barnett, Ross Ells, the entire coaching staff, and Michigan State football. And those poor golf carts behind, well, that's us. That is Michigan State football, just following the waft of an open stench of raw sewage, and it's a slow burn. We are not even close to the finish line. Guys, we have five games left. We have 5 games left. And look, if you're a sick enough person to watch this game tonight on Saturday night against the Wolverines, a game where if you have any wits about you, you know what was going to happen. Let's not kid ourselves. Of course, you're going to at least half watch the next 5 games. So, yeah, as I'm watching just Michigan light up the scoreboard like a slot machine. 7, 14, 21, 28. Oh my, hey, we held them under 30 before halftime. There we go, guys. All I could think about was just sitting in the back of that golf cart, holding onto that rope. And this is the fun part too. As we hit the brakes, well, inertia pushed that scooter forward. So I'd have to stick my foot out and make sure the scooter didn't hit the golf cart and splash stuff everywhere. But that is really what I thought of tonight as I was watching that game. It's like, wow, this is a little reminiscent of those good old times, Sandy Pines. And, God, I could feel those smells inside my nose whenever I watch this team every single Saturday or Friday for the Black Friday game, which I don't know, man. Penn State looks terrible. Ohio State, I don't know if they could score against a team of mannequins. So Michigan's going to cakewalk to this Big Ten title. we're going to talk more about this game, of course, because what else are we going to talk about? But first, I need to do the funniest ad read that we could possibly do. Thank you, Athletic Brewing Company, for being a proud sponsor of the Locked On Networks and for being a friend of Locked On Spartans here. But gang and Michigan fans, if this is your first show, you're really going to like this one. Every week after the game, we have to do this ad read for Athletic. It is called the Game Changer of the Week. So here it goes. All right. Now time for your Game Changer of the Week, brought to you by Athletic Brewing. And then I'm supposed to name like a player that changed the game that was good for Michigan State or something like that. This ad read started before the Washington game. We have not done like a good one of these ad reads yet. So, all right, the game changer of the week is, I'll go with the simple one, the basketball team. 16 days until the season kicks off. Much like the basketball team for Michigan State, Athletic Brewing has completely changed the non-alcoholic beer game. They make non-alcoholic beers that actually taste good. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like I had an Athletic tonight. My wife had their IPA, the hazy IPA, had a few sips. It's like, that is one of the best IPAs that I have had. And look, back in days where, I would drink these games off, back when I did have emotional attachment to this team, well, you look at Athletic in the fridge and you think, do I want to slam 50 of these beers that are going to hurt in the morning, or do I want to have Athletic, something that tastes way better and something that will have me rocking and rolling when I wake up? Because, hey, no alcohol means no hangover. So, we have had Athletic in this house flowing here lately. Their brews are great tasting and award-winning. And just like I said, they beat out full-strength beers in global national competitions. You can find Athletic Brewing Company's non-alcoholic brews at a store near you or buy online at athleticbrewing.com. First-time customers can use code LOCKEDON, all one word, to get 15% off of your first order. Again, that is code LOCKEDON at checkout for 15% off at athleticbrewing.com. Near beer, exclusions and conditions apply. Athletic Brewing Company, fit for all times. All right, let's get back into the mix here. And I suppose that maybe if you're sick enough, you want to hear about the game. And I'll just sum it up like this. It's very easy. If you watched the first two series of this game, you didn't just, see the rest of the game. You just saw the rerun of all the other games that have been played this year. It was just the fifth iteration of this kind of game in a row for Michigan State. And let me explain myself here. So on the first drive for Michigan, it's 3rd and 14. Oh my God, we have an opportunity to get them off the field and do something good here for the first time in a long time at Spartan Stadium. And then, no, of course, they give up the untimely 3rd and 14. Linebackers just absolutely getting just torched in coverage, which, oh my God, it's been over the last 3 years, there must have been 15,000 receiving yards given up on the linebackers here. And so Michigan, of course, scores first play of the game, and it's a Blake Corum touchdown, and I put a lot of money on Blake Corum to score 2 touchdowns. So if there's anything I'm really salty about, how did he not find the end zone the rest of the game? Anyway, I digress here. And then, let's talk about Michigan State's first series as well. Well, finish your drink, everyone. A tight end had a penalty to send them back after a nice gain. And then eventually gets to 4th and 2. And I don't have to tell you what happened next because everyone knew what was going to happen when it was 4th and 2. If FanDuel had the bet of, hey, will this next play be a run up the middle stuffed at the line of scrimmage? The odds on that would have been minus 80,000. It would have been pay $80,000 to just win $1. And of course, that's just what happens. We got the Jay Johnson special right off the top. Second drive for Michigan. Second drive for Michigan, another 3rd and long opportunity. And just like every quarterback has so far this season, J.J. McCarthy must have had at least a half hour of time to throw the ball. So, of course, he hits Roman Wilson in the end zone, but that's just something that we've been accustomed to all year. Ample time to find receivers. And if you want to cushion a Heisman campaign, just come by East Lansing. We will help you at any single time. Just ask Michael Penix. I mean, God, Talia Tagovailoa looked like a Heisman competitor for the first quarter of their game anyway. Let's go to Michigan State's second drive of the game. Oh my God, it was a 3-and-out. Would you look at that? And then, everyone, not just finish your drink, but finish the case of beer that you have, because sit down. I hope you're ready to hear this news. Oh man, a Ross Ells unit was lined up incorrectly and had an illegal formation penalty. Oh man, that's so crazy. What? So, anyway, that's just, again, pretty much a microcosm of the game. Michigan just kept scoring with ease. I can't believe they took out their starters with 5 minutes left to go in the third quarter, because if they really wanted to hammer Michigan State, They could have won 85-0, but they got to get the reps in for their backups, I guess. So, yeah. So that was essentially the game. I don't think we need to do like an X's and O's breakdown. I mean, I'm sorry if that's what you're looking for here. We'll get a little bit more into that with Chase Glasser of Spartans Illustrated at some point this week here. But yeah, I guess we'll just go to this. I hope everyone in that locker room got what they wanted with playing this game here. And I talked about this on Friday's episode after the whole Michigan cheating scandal breaks. Oh, they're under investigation. The Big Ten goes to Michigan State and says, hey, this is what's going on with Michigan. They're stealing signs, yada, yada, yada. Here's your out to not play the game here because, yeah, sure, there can be safety concerns with the game. If they know every single move that you're going to do at any given time, sure, like whatever. Or, hey, Michigan State today, they had to vocally relay the signs to the quarterback here. And you're not going to see me like complaining about that and being like, oh, that changed the game. It was 49-0 if they had their signals able to use. Who cares about that? But they were offered the golden ticket to skip this game. And on Friday's show, I said, like, yeah, just the dweeby podcaster over here, like, I'm like, yeah, you absolutely skip this game. There's no good that's going to come out of this game right now. Like, look, I get the any given Saturday sort of thing, but no, not this Saturday, not with this team and that team meeting this weekend. No, so they had their out right there. And of course, look, I get it. I mean, that's a room full of kids that have come here to play football. They're not going to turn down a game here, but man, I just wish that someone that really had some dignity in them just said, you know what? Yeah, we are going to skip that game over there. Look, if that makes me a coward, so be it. I am just glad to say that I'm fine skipping any game the rest of this year, especially the ones against your rivals, especially when they are absolutely a death machine so far this year. So, yeah, I hope Harlan Barnett, the whole coaching staff got what they wanted with this game. You were offered Willy Wonka's golden ticket here, and you said, nah, let's play. And, boy, what is worse? Like, what's worse, losing like 80-0 like you essentially did today, or just not playing against your rival? And I know, look, common sense says that if a team is cheating and the Big Ten goes to the other team and says, hey, you have the out, if that team says, oh, sure, yeah, we don't want to play, like these are very unusual circumstances, we will punt. Common sense says that Team B will be shown in the good light here, but we know how things operate around here. Like, if Michigan State decided not to play that game, they would be the bad guys in all of this. I mean, they're getting laughed at for even being offered the opportunity to skip the game. So, yeah, if you actually skip the game, like, I get it from that standpoint, but, like, what's worse? What actually happened on Saturday, or all the backlash you would get about not playing against them? We don't have to debate this all day because, well, one scenario actually did play out, and it was pretty bad. It was not good, and that was even not including the apology for running Hitler trivia before the game in the midst of this 49-0 loss. I mean, I just can't believe it. It's also, like, a little shocking, just like how little my blood pressure rose during the game, even with all that going on. I don't know. It's just been a complete circus of a season here. Okay, we're going to cut it to a break here really quick, and then we'll round out the show, get you guys into the rest of your weekend. Get ready for the Lions game. That's right, Wolverine fans that are in here. Let's rally together around our Lions. God, what a fall you guys are having. Just a national title team, and also, I'm not going to say any more about the Lions because I'm known to jinx things on here, but we're going to talk about PrizePicks here for a second. Let's talk about NFL Sundays and how much PrizePicks is enhancing that. Well, it's a daily fantasy sports leader, and it's not just for NFL guys, of course. With NBA season starting, with NHL season starting, MLB playoffs, you can mix and match. You can have like LeBron, Mahomes, switch it over, get an NHL player. I'm not really that good at NHL. I can't name you a player at the top of my head, but you can combine them all on your same ticket and maximize your money by 25 times. Now, how do you do that? I mean, that seems pretty appealing, doesn't it? Well, it's simple. All right, you just pick a bunch of players. You guess, are their projected stats going to go higher or lower And just like I said, you can turn $10 into $250 just with a few taps. PrizePicks is really simple to play. I just make my picks on my couch, submit them, and it takes me about 40 seconds to do on the couch here. If you really want to go hard and study, do it in 90 seconds. But yeah, PrizePicks is the way to do it. Spice up any game that otherwise you wouldn't be interested in. Just like I was for Jags Saints. I couldn't care less about the Jaguars or the Saints, but hey, PrizePicks, they can be glued to the television on that Thursday night. Go to prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege and use code LOCKEDONCollege for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, go to prizepicks.com/lockedoncollege and use code LOCKEDONCollege for a first deposit match up to $100. It's PrizePicks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Yeah, so what else can we take away from this game? I had one realization that I had, other than, hey, a shout out to Aaron Brule. He had a solid moments in this game, I guess. Sam Levitt got some play in the fourth quarter. God bless you if you're a State fan and you stuck around to watch that, but he's got a good arm. Whether that will matter next year or not, who's to say? But yeah, that'd be great if he could stick around East Lansing. I mean, that is to be that young and have an arm that great. Okay, you can work off that. That's nice. But anyway, no one wants to hear about optimism right now. No, the realization that I had during this game, and I was very, very close after the Rutgers games. I'm sure I'm actually late to the party. I'm sure a lot of State fans have already been there. But I'm cool without anyone collecting a professional check coming back. By that, I mean the coaches or really anyone in that football building here. No, I'm not saying that to the players. I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying that, all these players are just scum and should never come back. No. We're going to talk to the adults in the room like we do every Saturday night when we recap the games. I'm fine with no one coming back. And look, a lot of this is old news. We're not going to see any coordinators come back. We will still talk about Ross Els later on here because he just keeps on delivering the goods to Michigan State here. But even Harlan Barnett, look, I get that this is an impossible situation that he is in. You know what? No, that's not true. I'm going to edit that out, actually. Let me rewind. He was in a very hard situation that now, by how he has coached his team the last 5 weeks, is now an impossible situation because, well, you somehow found a way to dig this team beneath rock bottom here. I could figure that after, Coach, we'll call it Mike Elko for laughs, right? Or, Coach Urban Meyer for laughs. Let's just really have a hoot and a half right now. Why not? It's late on a Saturday. Let's say that Urban Meyer comes here. I could figure that, hey, you just give Harlan Barnett this, hey, thanks for your service role on the team. I don't know, push it back to secondary coach or whatever. I'll just cut to the chase. I don't need to see it. I am completely done with seeing anyone that collects a professional paycheck for Michigan State come back. It has to be a total reset. Absolutely no one can come back. And this isn't a bad situation that, again, has gotten just a little bit worse. It was down here when it came out that Mel Tucker was making some interesting phone calls to very interesting people. And then you can see how it can go down here. No, it is on the floor right now. It is complete, just banana land here. So no, I don't need to see, any vanity thank yous given to any coaches that come back. I mean, you can make an argument for Courtney Hawkins, I guess, but look, I think me and a lot of State fans are holding on to Courtney Hawkins just because Nick Marsh's name is connected to that. But is it worth it for one recruit, guys? I don't even know. You just have to, hey, just like that scooter that we talked about in the first segment, you got to get the stench out, because I got to say, when we got back to that RV, the stench did get cleared pretty quickly once you all get rid of it. So yeah, I'm fine not seeing anyone come back. Thank you for what you've done, Harlan. Again, this is a very hard situation. And right off the top, when he wasn't even acting head coach, and I still stand by this, now, hey, this is the guy internally that should get the head coaching role. This is a good mentor for the kids. He's been around the program for a while. He's also very wise. But I don't need the Mr. Rogers routine every single week. And it's been so bad now to this point that, okay, let's just all say goodbye and act like this never happened here. Thanks for your decades of service here, but wow, that was horrendous. I guess the thing I'll get most passionate about here, and again, just like I said at the top of the show, no shouting or screaming or anything, because my soul is largely last week's victim. Once Rutgers comes back down 18 points in the fourth quarter, what else can you really have to scream about? But And this might sound extreme, like this might sound like I'm doing a bit or I'm going over the top here or I'm just like trying to get a laugh, but I genuinely believe this, that Ross Ells should just be in jail. Prison. The slammer, the clink. Ross Ells, special teams coach of Michigan State here for you Wolverines fans that aren't hip to like everyone on our staff, because why would you be? He should be in prison. Look, I get there's being bad at your job. I mean, look, we all work with people that are bad at their jobs. I mean, sometimes in previous jobs, hey, I've probably been that person. Look, every job isn't for anyone. So I get being a little bad at your job. There's being lazy at your job. I mean, look, who hasn't mailed it in on a Friday past 3 p.m. every once in a while? There's even being reckless at your job. Like, who hasn't accidentally driven a forklift into their coworker? But what Ross Ells is doing is somehow even worse than all of that. Like, I cannot believe the incompetence that this man delivers to the kids that he coaches every single week. I mean, look, you can tell me that he is getting paid by other programs to sabotage Michigan State every single week, and at face value, I would just believe you. Like, this is how bad it's gotten. And of course, I'm referencing the illegal formation penalty right at the top, and this is something that we deal with every single, not most weeks over here in East Lansing, every single weekend in East Lansing. In Ross Ells' 4th year, we deal with nonsense on special teams, whether it's illegal formation, too many men on the field, not enough people on the field, or just terrible penalties that extend drives here. We deal with this every single weekend. And yes, the illegal formation penalty had nothing to do with the outcome of this game. I know that. That's maybe why I'm not screaming and punching my computer right now. But it's just, it is unbelievable that we are in week 8 of year 4 of Ross Ells, and he still can't coach people to line up properly. This man, look, I get that. Okay, in all seriousness, no, he has not gotten paid by other programs. As much as he makes it appear to be, he has not gotten paid by other programs to sabotage this team. But what I do know is, what is a patent fact, is that he's earned almost $2 million here doing this at Michigan State. And when I read that, that almost makes me scream, but again, I'm just so dead on the inside that I got nothing left in me. But yeah, he's almost earned $2 million here to do this. And I get this. I was very harsh on him last weekend, as I should be, as everyone should be, as his own family should be. Heck, they're probably getting great gifts off that $2 million every single holiday season. So what does it matter? But yeah, look, he doesn't recruit. He doesn't develop. He doesn't even coach his team how to line up properly. Again, week 8 of a season in his 4th year. I'm not asking anything crazy here. This isn't anything that a player can go rogue and do, kind of like that fair catch call where it was catch interference and then it was waved off or whatever. But this isn't something that a player can go rogue and do. This is just simply teaching your kids how to line up properly on a punt. Usually that's shored up by sophomore year of high school. I knew how to line up on the punt unit on my JV team back sophomore in high school. It seemed pretty simple, but look, this is being a dentist and not knowing how to teach your patients how to floss, or being a baker and not, being able to teach your apprentice how to even turn on the oven in the factory every day. We are dealing with very low level stuff here, lining up for a punt. And you can't even count on a Ross Ells led team to do that every single week. So yeah, that's just the last thing that I just want to be passionate about here is, he's stolen $2 million from the university. And I can't get on here and say oh, wow, he's really bad at his job. Well, it's a good thing he's fired. It has to be worse than firing for the tune of $2 million for the level of incompetence that we are getting week in and week out here. All right. So we are in minute number 28 here, and we have a lot of listeners and viewers right here. I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that a lot of you guys are Michigan fans here. Do I want to click that comments button? Because I haven't read a single comment the entire night. I can only imagine you guys are raving about how great this show is, how delighted you are that we're just doing this right here. Screw it. I can't be broken down any further here. Let's see here. Just Harlan leaves the town. Just a lot of infighting here. What recruit will want to come here? What coach of any quality will want to come here? It's going to be a long road to recovery, says Flawless. That is a good point, actually, that we are just going to end the show on. We will talk about it more this week because what else is there to talk about around this team? I believe we got to do this for 5 more weeks of the football season, but I was thinking wow. I don't know if this helps the pie in the sky dream of like an Urban Meyer, or even like on a more realistic note, like a big name coach or someone that's at the top of your list, like a Mike Elko, for example. Like, because on one hand, okay, you can see that the donors might get really fired up about this and just like load the money cannon and say, this is inexcusable. I cannot believe how embarrassing this is. Load the money cannon, fire it at whoever wants to come here. But, and then there's the other side, like, this isn't like just taking over for like a little 6-6 team here, or a team that's 7-5 and just trying to, find its footing to the first tier of the Big Ten. Like, guys, it brings me no joy to say this whatsoever. No joy to say this whatsoever. But every Saturday we are watching the worst team in the Big Ten. I know that there's some competition there with Northwestern and Indiana, but like, just spot me any moment in the last 5 weeks that really just rustles your jimmies and says, no, come on, it's not that bad. Like, guys, it is that bad. Look, you can change things very quickly in college football. The transfer portal allows you for that. Michigan State, again, I know that we are treated like plebeians amongst, hey, maybe even some of the viewers here, but this is a top 20 revenue school, a top 20 attendance school. There is a lot of passion, woohoo, but more importantly, money around this program where you can rally things rather quickly here. You have the new football building. There is reasons to be optimistic, but wow. Let's not kid ourselves of what kind of a job ahead that this next person comes here to get. So we'll see what other jobs are open. Like, is the A&M job going to open? Are they going to pay Jimbo's $1.9 billion buyout? Who knows? Is Florida going to become open? I would think no, but you never know. But yeah, this is somehow against all odds, like a worse job than it was 5 weeks ago. Like, and it was pretty bad 5 weeks ago. So yeah. But again, money talks, and it can be fixed quickly. We'll see how quickly. And yeah, this was a good time. 2-10, yeah, probably. Yeah, no, yes. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here for those listening on podcasts right now. Someone just commented 2-10. Yeah, I could very well see that. Yeah, no question whatsoever about that. Michigan State should join the Big Ten West ASAP. Why? So we can go 5-7 even in that conference? Like, I don't see the allure in that necessarily, but I do love the effort there right now. Let's see. Remember when Spartans wanted Harbaugh to get the lifetime contract? Ohio State was your new rival. Michigan. I'm just not going to read the rest of that. Yeah, no, I do remember those days. Those were a lot of fun, but now I just watch the uncapped poop scooter every single weekend. All right, guys. Well, hey, this has been a lot more fun than like I thought it'd be. I don't know, like things are a lot different just when you're just emotionally detached from everything. Again, this isn't going to stop me from watching. This isn't going to stop me from breaking on the team. We're go green till I die. Woohoo. And boy, let me tell you, they're trying to kill me and the rest of us here. So until then, hold on. I feel bad for you, Matt, even after your tirade last night about Michigan and the NCAA stuff. I know your pain and can relate. Chin up, head down. It will get better. Yeah, well, yeah, of course it will get better. How could it get worse? Yeah, like it is going to get better. And if you want a good tirade, Marcus, I don't know if you're a State fan or Michigan fan. I'm sorry, I'm just speed reading these comments here. Go to the post Rutgers show. That's really where I thrived. Matt, what's your favorite kind of soup? Chicken noodle soup in a bread bowl. Chicken noodle soup in a bread bowl. Yeah, that's probably it. All right, I'm sorry. I'm starting to spiral now. All right, gang. Love you all. You guys are all the best. We'll see every day this week against all odds here. Love you all. Go green.